Yeah, hi, my name is Sandeep Singh. I'm the managing director of Alkem Laboratories, and I'm also the co-founder of Blue Tribe Foods. So plant-based meat, it sounds like an oxymoron. If it's plant-based, how can it be meat? But I think that has changed, and thanks to science and food science. So plant-based meat is basically meat made from plant. Now, basically, what is meat? Meat is fat, meat is water, meat is fibrous. If you can do the same thing through plants, then you've got plant-based meat. In fact, this all started in US many years back. Impossible Foods, Beyond Meats, these global companies have established presence in US, and a lot of consumers of non-veg food now consume these products in US to start off with, where they can't even distinguish between them. So plant-based meat is basically meat from plant, and that's possible, and food science has done it already in healthcare from last 20 years. And when I see at healthcare has to be, encompassing it all. It can't be about just the individual. So, health of the planet, health of the soil is very important. You cannot cure just an individual and not think about in the mother planet. Those things made me think about what industrial farming of animals is doing to the planet. And if we can reduce global warming by reducing animal farming in the world, we can certainly make the planet a healthier place to live in and for the future generations. Therefore, I started thinking what next we should do so that the health of the planet can be taken care of. We don't realize the amount of impact large-scale animal farming has, right from antibiotic resistance in poultry because of overuse of it, and the methane emission by large animals. So if we can eliminate them from the food chain, at the same time make consumers enjoy the product, you have made the planet a healthy place. So plant-based meat started globally maybe 10 years back. India, it has recently come in. In India, meat industry itself is around 300,000 crores, which is one of the biggest in the world. And Indians by nature, they understand, they have a guilt, I think, inherently for eating meat. So plant-based meat can be a great substitute for a lot of people who are environmentally conscious or have animal ethics in mind. It is nascent right now, but is expanding globally. We have 5 or 6 companies who have come in, and some of them are big names. You have large celebrities joining and endorsing plant-based meat, like Virat Kohli, Anushka Sharma. Now, if you look at the trend, normally things are innovated in the West and it moves to, towards East, and India is one of them. So large brands in US have already started substituting animal-based meat. Look at Impossible Meats, Beyond Meat. They have really taken a lot of market share from meat itself. And if you go to any QSR in US, you will have an option of a plant-based patty over there. India, this is growing. The market is small, but it's growing rapidly. And the awareness levels, as they go up, you will see plant-based meat really rise in India tremendously. So, Indian consumer is a very interesting consumer of plant-based meat, because we say that, large part of Indian consumers are non-veg. But if you look beneath the hood, they are not really non-veg, because when you say people in the West are non-vegetarians, they are eating meat twice a day in the West. But in India, most non-vegetarians are eating meat twice a week. So culturally, there's a huge difference. We need to understand that. And the reason I believe is, one is obviously the economic scenario, but also inherently, I think there is a guilt attached with most Indians when they consume non-veg food. It's like they obviously love the taste and the so-called nutrition, but somewhere in their mind, they do feel guilty about it. It has been debated immensely, and the debate will continue. But what we have understood, that no amount of lecturing either an environment or animal rights is going to make people leave non-veg food, because it doesn't work. It will only work when you give them an option. So for example, our plant-based chicken nuggets are indistinguishable from the animal-based chicken nuggets. Now, when we did that survey with our consumers, 90% of them told us they'll stick with plant-based chicken nuggets because there's no difference. People are not consuming meat because they are sadist or they want to kill the animal or damage the environment and eat it. They just consume it because it's aspirational and it's tasty. As long as plant-based meat companies can meet that, consumers will shift. And we are seeing that shift. 60% of the consumers swear by us. They can't distinguish from animal-based meat, and most of them are returning customers. And if we meet the product qualities like animal-based meat, they are sticking with us. We are finding that out. Very rarely in life I have seen the convergence of two things: the convergence of what is good for the planet and for the world, and what is good for business. So plant-based meat is, I think, that crossroad where what you're doing is great for the planet, for sustainability. At the same time, it's one of the best business opportunities I have seen in the last 10 years, 20 years of my life. Because I have been an investor with a lot of startups apart from my pharma business. I am an investor in a lot of startups, and I've invested in many companies across the globe. But plant-based meat was something I said I will not be satisfied only by being an investor. I must do it myself. Because as I said, rarely you come across things where you can do business at the same time it's good for the society. And this is one of those things. I'm from the pharmaceutical world, so this example comes to my mind. When people started taking insulin in the early 1920s or 30s, the insulin was coming from the pigs of the pancreas. And a lot of pigs had to be slaughtered just to get a small grammage of insulin. But today, you don't need pigs to make insulin. You do it recombinantly. So there is science. You can do stuff without animals. We did it in insulin, which is used for medicine. But you can do the same thing for meat, and people are already doing it. So the first stage is plant-based meat, but now we also have lab-grown meat, and companies are doing it already. So there's enough science. Biotechnology has progressed a lot. If we can make insulin, we can make animal cells, we can make animal meat, and it's already happening. Science will disrupt this industry rapidly. Because look at technology. Technology has changed the way we work, but animal agriculture has not changed from thousands of years, and it's about to change, and biotechnology will do it. So Blue Tribe Foods started from India. We started from the city Mumbai, to be precise, but right now we are present in 26 cities in India, and we have also shipped to a couple of countries. But our plan is to really expand in Europe and in US, because meat consumption per capita in these countries is maximum. In terms of products, we have a lot of product range right now, but that's just the beginning. We will eventually get into all the products, foods where animals are used as a food source. So whether it's dairy, whether it's eggs, you will see Blue Tribe Foods launch these products as we go forward. Our ambitions are global, and we do want to make an impact which is felt for the next 30-40 years.